In this video, we're going to take a look at Bologna, both the university and the city. A few weeks ago, I went to a lot of the universities to do tours of them and took a lot of videos. In the next few weeks, we're going to be uploading campus tours of each of them, as well as an opinion on the city itself. So make sure that you turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of the universities. So I'm going to start off with my opinions and some footage of the university itself, even though I think the city portion is more important. I can't emphasize this enough. You're going to be living in this country for 6 years. You should really make your decision based on the city vibe and life rather than the university itself. However, the university itself, I actually thought it was really cute. The hospital itself and the campus are one and the same, so you're going to be doing your lessons a lot in the hospital. The hospital's spread out over a few different buildings, so it's not like a classical one massive giant building and all of the different floors have different departments, but it's kind of a campus in itself. The buildings are quite cute, and what I really liked is that there are cycling lanes within the hospital, which is really crazy. Like, you would never see something like that in Rome, and I kind of really appreciated that it's really nice to get around the campus on a bike. The IMS, or International Medical School building, is so modern and so cool that I actually ended up spending a lot of the time there taking pictures of it. This is where I'm pretty sure the lectures are, but I didn't really get to ask if there were classes also on other parts of the campus. But when I was walking around outside, I actually came across a few students and I got to talk to them, and they said that most of their lectures were being held in that building. Another thing that I got to talk to them about was to kind of get their unofficial opinion on the course itself, and they were very, I would say, honest and positive about it, saying that there were, of course, a lot of flaws that a lot of people don't realize. But the nice thing is that every year, apparently, the university is working hard to improve the course. So I'm sure that it's a drastically different course if you enter now and enroll now compared to a few years ago, because they're really working hard to iron out any of the problems that the course might be having. I then asked them about some study spaces, and most of them said that they actually have to end up using the city because the university is quite limited. I did manage to find the place where there are libraries for students. However, I personally felt that it was a bit limited, but again, at least there are spaces, and the city offers a lot of different types of spaces as well. So you're not reliant on the university providing libraries or anything like that. So this part isn't strictly related to the university course itself, but there seems to be some kind of misopinion that Bologna gets to do cadavers, gets to do dissections, and this is not true. You can do prosections or autopsies just like in any of the other universities, but what is very cool is that close to the university, there is the first ever dissection hall. One of the first ever anatomy books was actually written in Bologna itself, and I think that is so cool. The university itself has an incredible history, and I actually went to the dissection hall and I got to take pictures and videos, and it was very cool seeing where history was made. But again, that's not a strictly that's where they get to do classes, but I just thought it was a really nice thing to see, and it's kind of cool to be a part of a university that has such a rich history. So overall, my kind of vibe of the university is that it's really cool. I like how cute it is. I like that it has bike lanes. I like that it has a rich history. My only hesitation is that there still hasn't been a graduating class from Bologna. It is still one of the newer courses. And of course, its Italian course is very well established and very historic. But obviously there are still problems with the English course. And in general, when you're thinking about studying medicine in Italy, the universities that have established a few extra years, that can make a huge difference, especially once you have a graduating class, people who have completed the full cycle. It kind of gives a bit more confidence. So my only hesitation is the fact that Bologna is still newer, and while its Italian course does have a rich history, its English course is still in its infancy, and of course it's improving, and that's a really nice thing to hear. I was really happy to hear that Bologna is actively working to constantly improve the course, but that's kind of my only hesitation. So the next part, which is the most important part, is kind of the city, and I loved this city. I cannot emphasize enough how much I liked Bologna as a city. I really am so happy with my choice of Sapienza. I really don't think there could have been a better university for me, but the only thing that has been making me doubt my choice of Sapienza is Bologna as a city. Not the university is fine, but I absolutely fell in love with the city. And I say this as someone who really loves living in Rome, but Bologna just felt so vibrant and young, and more organized, I would say. Like you can really feel that it's a student city with like a lot of young people, a lot of places to have aperitivo. I really felt like Bologna was like alive almost. I loved the buildings. There were so many different colors. Even when you went to the piazzas and the churches, like more touristy areas, they weren't like overcrowded and packed. Now, granted, we are still kind of like at the end stage of the pandemic and restrictions have lifted, but tourist season isn't back to normal. But I feel like even at peak tourist time, Bologna wouldn't be that overcrowded with tourists. I really liked the balance that, there were really nice architectural things and historic things to look at, like very, touristy things, without it being overly saturated like Rome is. It kind of, I really cannot emphasize enough like how much I really liked the city. Like even just sitting down for an aperitivo with your friends, like, and the crowd around you, it just felt like so Italian. And yeah, like I loved the vibrance of the city, and I really liked that cycling is like a very normalized mode of transport. So here in Rome, like cycling is starting to become a little bit more popular. I actually just got a bike recently, but it's still kind of, there's not a lot of cycling lanes. Whereas Bologna, it kind of feels like it was built for people to cycle, and then like cars also just exist, like instead of bikes just being an afterthought. And I really loved that you can get around the entire city very easily on a bike. So it's really nice that it's like smaller and contained, and it's just really vibrant, and I loved everything about the city. In fact, I was actually considering transferring literally just for the city. Again, I have my hesitations about the university itself because I love my own university, even though it has a lot of flaws as well, don't get me wrong. But like both Sapienza and Bologna, I'm sure have lots and lots of flaws. But yeah, like I just absolutely love the city, like everything about it. The final thing is also price-wise. I felt it was definitely on the cheaper side of my entire trip to North, where I like got to see Milan and, Bergamo and Bicocca and all of those other universities. I felt the prices were like just slightly cheaper than Rome. So Milan was definitely the most expensive. I would say Rome right underneath that, and Bologna felt slightly cheaper than Rome. So kind of like average. And I also think that's a really important consideration. But the other nice thing about Bologna is also the food. Like I got like amazing breakfast. They have like brioche here. We call it cornetto, but the breakfasts were good, the lasagna, like everything. It was awesome. It was awesome. I really loved the city. So if you're considering Bologna as a university, do keep in mind some of the downfalls that might be there. But I really recommend picking a place based on the city that you're going to live in. And personally, I really think Bologna is great if you are social, if you kind of want to like romanticize your life, where you like cycle everywhere. Yeah, I overall really, really liked it. So in the next few weeks, we're going to be doing campus tours of hopefully all of the universities. So please let me know in the comments which one you want to see the most, and make sure you like, you subscribe, etc., all of that. And also, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us through Instagram. I also put up stories of, day-to-day life, whether it's in Rome or in the cities while I was visiting them. So if you kind of want to see like a behind the scenes as well, you can also follow the Instagram.